So, PUBG Mobile, one of the best mobile games of all time. I mean, I at least think so. And I'm pretty sure a good chunk of the people watching this video right now can agree as well. PUBG Mobile has been around for over a year now, and in that time, a lot of pretty cool things have happened in relation with this game. I mean, there's no doubt about it. This game is big, really big. And for as big of a game as PUBG Mobile is, we're all bound to not know everything. So I did a bit of research. Okay, that's a lie. I did a lot of research. And today I decided to do a video explaining 10 things you may have not known about PUBG Mobile before you watched this video. I hope at least a few of these things are new news to you. So yes, with that being said, we shouldn't waste any more time. Be sure to hit that like button because a lot of research went into this video and I ask for that in return. Subscribe for more PUBG Mobile content, some of the best content on YouTube, and turn on post notifications because let me tell you, summer's about to be awesome. I have so many cool videos planned. But yes, without further ado, let's jump into this. So, to begin, let's talk about player accounts. Just like with so many other games out there, World of Warcraft, Fortnite, even Pokemon Go, PUBG Mobile actually has a whole underground market of people buying, selling, and trading accounts. Some beginning players do this to skip the ranking process, and others simply want rare items that are in the game. PUBG Mobile has, of course, its whole crate system where people can get carried away quite easily and end up spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on this game. And if you can believe it, right now as we speak on websites like playerauctions.com, people are selling accounts for $400, $500, and even $1,000. Now, would I ever spend that kind of money? Absolutely not. But there is a market for this. People can make a living off of creating accounts, leveling them up, and selling them, and it's just crazy to think that something like this actually works. Continuing on, the second thing you probably didn't know about PUBG Mobile is the reason why you sometimes die before you even hear the gunshot of something like the AWM. Take a look at this diagram we have right here. You are the listener. You're looking across a field into the trees, and you see the shooter. If the shooter fires, you will see the muzzle flash before you hear the bullet, sometimes 1 to 3 seconds before the bullet whizzes past you, depending on how far away the enemy is. This diagram also helps to show how close the bullet has to be to the listener to hear the cracking sounds, and also the whizzing sounds. So if you hear the cracking sound, you'd better run because it is way too close. But I just thought it's pretty cool PUBG follows the laws of physics, where obviously light travels faster than sound. Use that to your advantage in any way that you can. But we must keep moving forward. Another interesting tidbit about PUBG Mobile revolves around the map Erangel. As we know, we have multiple different maps in PUBG. Erangel, Miramar, Sanhok, and Vikendi. There's probably going to be a new one released relatively soon. We also know that PUBG Mobile, which stands for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Mobile, was created by a man named Brendan Green, who made it this name based off of his old Arma 2 account, which his name on that was PlayerUnknown. Erangel was named in the way that it is as a tribute to Brendan Green's daughter. His daughter's name is Erin, E-R-Y-N, and so he decided to combine the words Erin and Angel to make Erangel. It's a pretty cool meaning behind the name, and at least it gives a deeper meaning to PUBG Mobile. Now, let me ask you, do you know why shotguns are so bad in this game? It's a pretty commonly known fact that shotguns aren't very good in PUBG Mobile. Most players would much rather prefer an SMG over a shotgun in even the most desirable of shotgun ranges. The reason is more than just a poor job done by developers in an attempt to balance the game. In fact, they actually wanted to take a more realistic approach to these weapons. Something like the S1897 is based off of the Winchester Model 1897, or trench gun as it's known, which was made in 1897. It was a super important weapon used in World War I, as the Allied powers used this to clear German trenches. However, look at the other guns in PUBG Mobile, okay? They're based off of weapons 50 to 80 years newer than the Winchester Model 1897. And I mean, if you compare this little shotgun to an AUG or an HK416, there's really no comparison. Want to know something else that was once in this game? It's kind of crazy, and in so many of my past videos, I would get comments from people saying, "Oh, is Exotic Gaming hacking? How did he do that?" And they're all talking about how back at one time, ARs were able to be fitted with 8x scopes. Yes, back about a year ago, you could pick up an AKM and then put an 8x scope on it and attempt to use it as a sniper. Now, how reliable was something like this? Probably not too great. I don't remember too well since it was so long ago, but since it really didn't make much sense in either players' or developers' eyes, a few months later after the game was released, this 8x attachment ability was removed. But still, it was not forgotten. Did any of you watching this video who played long ago use the M416 or AKM with an 8x scope? Hey, so here's a pretty cool fact for PUBG and PUBG Mobile. This is probably the most well-known of the 10 I'll talk about in this video, but there are still a lot of people who don't know about this. Let's talk about the origin of PUBG itself. There are some people that actually think PUBG was the first Battle Royale game, and no, that's not true at all. Don't even get me started about the kids that think Fortnite was the first Battle Royale, but I'm not gonna get into that. PUBG was, as we know, created by Brendan Green, and he originally created a Battle Royale mod for Arma 3, and then also H1Z1. Those games were still not the first Battle Royales though. The Hunger Games came out before these games, and the Hunger Games was based off of the Battle Royale movie released in 2000. And the movie was based off of the Battle Royale book that was completed in 1996 in Japan and published in 1999. So yes, Battle Royales have been around for a while. But do you know something that's not been around for a while? And something that's actually very scary? This has been big news recently amongst PUBG Mobile players, especially those in Asia. There are regions and countries in this world that have actually been able to ban PUBG Mobile for a period of time. Some of these areas include Nepal and Gujarat in India, and places like the United Arab Emirates and the rest of India are at risk. Nepal thankfully restored the ability for players to play this game without being arrested, but in other players around the world, the message from governments remains clear. Do not play PUBG Mobile or else you'll risk being arrested just for playing a video game. And guess what? Some people already have. I talked more about this in my most recent PUBG Mobile upload, so if you want to hear more about it, check the link in the description. However, before you do that, we have to finish up the last few. We talked about the map Erangel before, but we didn't really talk about how the map got its design and what it's based off of. According to the official PUBG websites, Erangel is a fictional Russian island located in the Black Sea. Since the 1950s, the island was occupied by the Soviets, and it was used as a military testing ground. This is why there's a hospital, military base, and storage facilities. At one point, people rebelled against the Soviet government, but failed and were apprehended, and eventually soon after people abandoned the island. So this is a big reason why the map looks like a post-apocalyptic Soviet state. Pretty wild to think about, but there's more to PUBG Mobile map design than just making a place that looks pretty. And talking about the same lines as the origins of Erangel, also mentioned in the PUBG official website, we hear about the origins of the Blue Zone. Many people think this is a sort of poison gas that extends over the entire map, but that's not actually true. In HD graphics, you can see electric waves through the zone from the inside of the circle, and this is because the zone is actually a magnetic field. As we mentioned earlier, people were a big trouble and rebellious against the Soviet military stationed at the island, so they constructed this magnetic field that would sweep over the island, enveloping everything in its path in effort to control the population. It's just crazy to think if something like this ever happened in real life. Imagine governments being able to control population movements by death barriers. That's really scary. But hey, we've come to the final unique fact about PUBG Mobile. This is the origin of Miramar, the desert map on PUBG. This map is set on the US-Mexico border, hence the border fence we see in-game. As we know, there are oil processing facilities in Miramar, This is because Miramar was once a thriving land that made much of its money off of oil, kinda like many of the countries in the Middle East. However, eventually, crime became rampant in the area. Just like in Mexico now, cartels took over major sections of the region. They were really bad people and killed every innocent person in sight. Prisons were packed to capacity and then started overflowing. Prisoners escaped, killed everyone, and no innocent person was left. In a last-ditch effort, Myanmar's crumbling government used the old magnetic field Soviet technology from Erangel to herd all prisoners together and then kill every last one of them. Only the strongest can survive. You are playing on Miramar as one of those prisoners, one of those cartel members, and you're fighting to survive in this scary, scary place. Now, luckily, we don't have doomsday scenarios like this happening in real life. We're all okay. We all can enjoy playing PUBG Mobile with relative peace. Unless you live in a country where you might get arrested, but that's a different story. It's a great game, one of my favorite games, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. I really hope you guys liked the video. I spent a ton of time researching through many different websites, all of these interesting facts and myths, so I would greatly appreciate a like rating in return. Subscribe for more of some of the best PUBG Mobile content on YouTube, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on my next video, which will be out in a couple of days. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you all later.